Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Thursday, October 10th, 2024. So, did you do the crossword?
I did do the crossword.
And how did you find said crossword?
I thought it was a work of genius. What'd you think?
I think it was a work of Grant Burroughs, who might also be a genius.
Yes. It's very clever. Very clever.
I liked the theme. I had a lot of trouble getting this crossword done, though.
Oh, really?
Yes, I had trouble in, you have to guess which corner.
Oh, I have no idea.
Take a guess.
Which corner?
Yes, you have a choice of 4.
Yes, I realize that.
Okay, well, it might not be a square crossword, but it is, in fact.
Lower left.
No.
Upper right.
Right, yes.
Upper right.
That's where I ran into trouble.
Oh.
Because I made the mistake of going for syllables of laughter. First I went for ho, ho, ho. And then I went for ha, ha, ha.
That's what I went for.
And then I went for har, har.
Oh, my.
And then I eventually, but that didn't work with 14 down because 14 down was one of 3 in an SOS message. And I'm pretty sure that dar is not part of an SOS message.
Nope, I don't
while
think so.
da is.
Yes.
So I ended up with ha, ha.
With an H at each end of the ha.
Yes.
Yep.
And if it weren't for that, I would have been doomed.
Doomed?
I would have been, I was like stuck in that corner, just like, I cannot believe it. There's got to be some way of getting through this crossword. You know, I often find the case where I'll get the theme and think, I'm done. I figured out the theme and I've got all the themed answers filled in, but then I run into sort of a brick wall, and this was one of those times. But I eventually circumvented it.
Very good.
And the theme was definitely worth the price of admission.
It certainly was.
Why don't you talk about that?
Okay. Well, it's kind of complicated to explain, but anyway, there were a number of circled squares in the puzzle. And they were just scattered throughout the puzzle, but primarily I shouldn't say that. A lot of them were on the left and right edges, but there was one in the middle too. And I couldn't figure out what was going on, but I noticed that in 3 of the circles, I had a D. And I thought, they must have to put a D in each one of the circles. And you could do that, and it worked. So the first D was 9 across, a dogleg terminus, and that was pad. And then 15 across, the first letter, instrument panels, and that was dashboards. And then we had 28 across, a trademark of deadpan stand-ups, and the first letter was circled, so I put a D there. And it turned out to be dry humor.
Right.
And then 33 across, areas that are lower than their surrounding terrain, and I put dells. The first letter was a D. I was sure because there was a circle there. Dells. And then 44 across was what lies before you with the. And so I put day ahead. The day ahead lies before you. Works perfectly. And then I got to 52 across, where the last letter was circled. And it was do some garden work. And I'm like, well, that's so. I thought, well, sod, but I just didn't think sod was garden work. That was more lawn work.
Ooh.
So I thought, well, and then I looked at 39 down, which was where that circle crossed, and it was move forward resolutely. I thought, well, that's got to be plod. But I thought, no, it's so. So, but I thought, well, plow. Plow is moving forward resolutely. So, yeah, that would work. Um, uh, so, um, so anyway, I left the W in there, but I'm like, well, what's the theme now? Because I had D's everywhere else. And so then you get down to 58 across, which is kind of the revealer. And it's authors concerned that when parsed as 4 parts provides a hint to this puzzle's theme. And the answer to that was word choice, which made no sense whatsoever. So, but when I solved it, then I believe it had both W's and D's. Did it just kind of flash that?
No, it just displays them. So on the computer and on iPad.
Okay, because now I'm looking at it. I did it on my computer. I'm looking at it on my iPad, and it's not doing that. But anyway, it was like, oh, so 58 across was not word choice. It was W or D choice.
Yes.
Because you could put a W or a D in any of those circled letters, and it would work both ways.
Yep.
The dashboards, which were instrument panels, could be washboards, which are played as an instrument. And the down clue going down at that D was one down, sight for a light bite. Oh, no, I'm sorry. A major food source animal. And it was 3 letters, and it could be cod if you put dashboards, but it could be cow if you put washboards. So, and they were all like that.
Yes.
The 9 across, where dogleg terminus was pad, but it could be paw, P-A-W, and that W or D was the first letter in 11 down, failed to act decisively in the face of a challenge. And so that could be dither, but it could also be wither. So it was just amazing. I just was like, wow, that must have taken a long time to think of words that you could, actually have crosses. And both of the words, you could have either a W or a D and use the same clue for them, and it would be right.
In both directions.
In both directions.
Yep.
So dry humor could be wry humor, and the one going down from that was 28 down, lavishly regaled in a way, which could be wined or dined. So day ahead could be way ahead, and so could also be sod. So just extremely clever. And after I finally got it all done, I'm like, wow. That would have been a really challenging crossword to create, I think. Oh.
But apparently Grant Burrows was up to it.
Well, he certainly was.
Yes.
Very good.
Yep. It took me a while to figure out what was going on, but when I did get to the revealer, I did understand, because I looked at that and thought, oh, it's W or D. Got it.
Yeah.
Very clever. But like I said, I did run into problems in the northeast corner. I mean, 25 down was also tricky for me. Long time span. I thought, well, it's got to be Eon, E-O-N.
Yes.
And then I vaguely played around with era. And then at one point where I decided that the first letter was going to be an A, I decided it was going to be Eon, spelled A-E-O-N, except I removed the E because it wasn't going to fit.
No.
And so that was messing me up. Now, 10 down was Italian cheese. Once I saw that the answer was Asiago, I knew it, or I recognized it as such, but I couldn't come up with it at the time, especially since I didn't believe that there was going to be a G there, because the correct answer for 25 across long time span was age.
That's correct. Yes. Yes. I got the cheese, so I had a G there to begin with.
That helps.
So then I knew, well, all I could think of for a time span would be age.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Sort of an unusual use of age, but certainly legit.
So, well, I mean, I had no idea. 9 down, Blank Bay, neighborhood of the Bronx. I've been to the Bronx so often, but no, I've never been there.
That was a pretty cool corner.
And that was Pelham. Pelham Bay.
I figure Pelham. I figure Pelham.
Pelham,
And
neighborhood of the Bronx.
I can remember, I don't know from where, but I have this phrase in my head, the taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. It might have been a movie. I bet it was a movie. And so I had enough letters and I thought, I bet that's Pelham. And that's, I think, how I got the A in there. So, and eventually I got the G of Asiago and so forth.
Right.
There are lots of other great clues here. I liked, let's see, 31 across. 31 across, bugs perhaps. And I thought, well, it's going to be bunny or it's going to be tune. It was spies on.
Yes. Yes, I thought that was rather interesting too.
And a druid, e.g., I had the G as the third letter out of 5. And I thought it was going to be something to do with magic or sage or some other age word. But it turned out to be pagan.
Pagan, yes, that took me a while. That took me a while. So, but it made sense once I got it in there.
Yep.
So,
27 down was hopeless for me. It's pop culture. Twilight protagonist was Bella.
Bella, yes.
And then we had 30 across. I might have confused 30 across with 32 down. Lou Grant's wife on the Mary Tyler Moore show, Edie.
Right.
Edie.
Yes, I didn't remember that.
Is that the...
I remember he had a wife, but I don't think she was ever on. He just always mentioned her.
See, for
he talked to her on the phone.
Oh, okay. I just looked at 30 across, but in answering 27 down, I'd convinced myself that 27 down was the wife, was Lou Grant's wife. I sort of swapped the two clues there. Didn't make any difference. I didn't know either of them, so...
Yeah, that's always a challenge.
Let's see, what else did we have here? 42 down, old-timey medicines, tonics.
That's right.
That was sort of a fun word.
Yes. We had another non-word, 62 across, sufficient, informally, enough.
Enough.
E-N-U-F.
So I don't know what you, I don't know.
Because it's too hard to spell out E-N-O-U-G-H. So
well, you realize...
Enough.
You realize that the Indefatigable Stan Lee used "nuff" a lot.
Oh,
he'd always say like "nuff said."
Oh, really?
Yep, that was big in the comics.
Wow.
So I don't know if it still is, but in any event, that's that is that enough. And enough of.
And add that to our list with sesh and dorbs and all those other truncated non-words.
Unfortunately, we're not actually keeping a list. I guess we have. I guess that's my hint.
We should start.
No, we should start. Okay. I had trouble with 40 across. 40 across being like the femur among all bones in the body. I thought it was longest.
Oh.
But it turned out to be largest.
That's correct. Yes.
And I also had trouble getting, because of that, I had trouble with 41 down. Fountain of Youth's Promise. It was renewal.
Yes.
As opposed to nenewal. And I was trying to figure out, what does that mean exactly? Let's see. Bold, energetic, and ambitious type, it said, is Aries.
Yes.
Did you know that?
No, but it makes sense. 37 down. Oh. That was kind of a... I don't know that I've seen that before in a puzzle, but goes hog wild, runs riot.
Yes.
Runs riot. That's a great phrase. I never use that. But,
really?
I probably would say goes hog wild before I'd say runs riot, but I like that.
Okay. Well, feel free to use it anytime the occasion arises.
Next time I see something going hog wild, I'll say, oh, it runs riot. I noticed we had a double clue, or I don't know if it's double clue, but 13 across was Swahili honorific, and that was Bwana.
Right.
And then
34
down, Indian honorific was Sahib.
Yes.
So Bwana and Sahib.
All in one grid.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think that is it for today then. So thanks everyone for listening.
Yes.
Trust you're enjoying these podcasts. We hope so. Let us know. Crosswordpodcast at iCloud.com. And we will be back again with our in-depth analysis as well as a Fun Fact Friday episode tomorrow.
Bye-bye.